touch you like you were my art, and yeah.
Welcome to Inside Business. I'm Terry Guerin, your host, and my guest for today's show is the vocalist D.Selina. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I know you as Dominique Carey, but you go by the name, stage name of D.Selina.
Yes.
Why did you choose D.Selina as your stage name?
Well, first it had a little ring,
Okay.
a little pizzazz to it, but there are about 6 or 7 Selinas in my mother's side of the family, and I have a middle name. My grandmother is the closest and most personal one to me, and yeah, my middle name's Selina, and I just thought it had a ring. It had a little...
It sort of goes with your style, your neo-soul.
Mm-hmm.
Your neo-soul music, your vocalist, beautiful voice.
Thank you.
When did you start singing? At what age?
2. I know that's like cliche, but my grandmother, Selina, used to stand me on the table, and we would sing Shirley Temple songs. And, you know, all the little nursery rhymes, of course, but that's where it started. My parents, they always listened to soul music. That's all we had around the house. Soul and jazz on Sundays. When my daddy was cooking, he played jazz. So that was a lot of inspiration for me, and it felt natural. It still feels at home whenever I hear a really soulful song that's moving and touching. So.
Yeah. What is neo-soul? Let's talk a little bit about what that is. What is neo-soul? And why neo-soul? Why aren't you doing hip-hop or...
Oh, okay. Well, it's the modern version of soul from the 70s. That's when it kind of originated. Singers like Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin. I guess more of the 60s era is when it really started. And I just chose it because, like I said, it felt at home to me. That's what my parents played in the car. That's what we played in the house. And now, well, it's starting in the 90s. Singers like Erykah Badu, D'Angelo, Maxwell, they brought about this neo-soul. So they were the new soul singers. And they kind of put a little hip-hop beat to some songs and made it a little more upbeat. But it was still graceful, poetic, and moving and touching.
Tells a story.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
Funny you should mention that. Back in 1976, I had the opportunity to meet Prince. And my sister was doing his hair. So while she was doing his hair, I had a chance to really talk to him because I was just sitting there with him and talking to him. Wonderful vocalist, also very admired artist, very talented. And he talked about was his life expectancy, things that took place in his life. And he sung about it. He began to play the guitar at an early age also because it drowned out the music of what he was going through. And he started singing because a lot of it at first was rage, and then it became, let me tell my story. And then later, a few years later, it was, you know, Purple Rain came out. But I was listening to him, and, you know, for you it sounds like you grew up with this. It was a part of you. Your music is what you experience in life, and no matter where you are, a song could come from it. Same thing?
Yes, yes, and Prince is a favorite, by the way.
Very
my mother's favorite, but
mine too.
Yes, that's what it is. It's all about where you come from.
When you're looking at singing and you are inspired by something, do you write it down, or you just sing about? How do you?
I would take journal entries and turn them into poems or turn them into songs, and I've been writing in one. You know, little teenager about boys and all that, but you know, over time it became like therapy for me to write in my journal every night. And you know, if I miss a night, as long as it's a few times a month, then one day I look and I open it back up and I say, okay, let me you know, put this to an instrumental and see what happens, and just make it. You don't force it. If I'm not in the mood to write, I do not do it because it's just gonna be bad.
Talent runs in your family, or this is just something you popped up with on your own?
Yeah, a little bit. My mom's brothers had a band
wonderful.
back in the 70s, and now one of them is playing drums for me, and you know, he gathers his guys whenever I need to do a gig or whatever, Benson Dupree. And yeah, so we had a little music background going. That's pretty much not where I got it from, but knowing that, I mean, I guess I felt comfortable because I always heard music, you know. You know, and then on holidays, one of my uncles would play reggae. I love reggae, which introduced me to Sade because she took a little reggae feel and put it with jazz, and perfection.
Took off from there. Wow. And you have taken this into a business level by, you know, educating yourself.
Yeah.
Your undergrad, now your master's from UNO, and even, you know, you graduated with honors from UNO.
When I went to college, I got an undergrad degree, but now I want a master's just because my mother has one and I want to match my mom.
You'll be finishing up soon.
Yes,
with your master's.
I'll have my MBA in May, and HR focused, but I want to take it into the healthcare industry.
Are you going to sort of do something with your music?
Yeah, that's the plan. Music is first and always foremost my priority. School has been a big, you know, they've kind of been even in my life, school and music. But you can only climb up 2 trees for so long. So I'm just waiting to see which one knocks me off and then puts me on the other tree. And that I'm hoping that one's music. And I'm hoping that after graduation I can take it out of the city and, you know, travel and see the world. And New Orleans musicians are really on demand in other countries, so overseas. So hopefully.
You have a gift with singing. Some people have a gift, but they don't do anything with it. Why did you decide to do something with it? I mean, you could have what? You ever sang in the church choir?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where the performing aspect of it started. I was 7 and I was pushed to sing a solo. I just kept saying no, kept saying no. Her name was Janet Jackson, believe it, and she was in my church, and she was always just like, "You're gonna sing one day. You're gonna sing on that stage. I know you like it." And I did, and I couldn't stop. So yes, church was a big part of my, I guess, getting over the shyness and being comfortable with an audience. And then I think why I chose it as a career path is because it's like a never-ending rest inside you. You know, I know you're into politics and the way New Orleans works, and it's a passion, right? You have a passion for helping others and leadership. Yes. So I think because I could never stop singing, like I literally would drive people crazy around the house.
Really?
Singing. I still do. I just sing all day long. You know, you got to do something with it, or you'll just never feel happy and satisfied with yourself. So
you have the track you're talking about, the album, EP.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is called Abstract Element, and it's a collection of 7 songs that I wrote. And one track, Milk and Oil, was written by a friend of mine, Q. And really, it's about experiences at my age. And this was a period of 3 years that I wrote all of these songs. So these were tracks that I felt good about, and they became a story, a giant story. And hence, Abstract Element. Abstract Element is love. And we need elements. We need water, we need earth, we need fire. But love is that one element that's not so concrete. It's something we can't feel physically. Right. So it's an emotion, and therefore it's abstract to me. We want to reach our potential with love. Okay. So that's what. So
you put that into music. You capture all that. You put it into music.
Yeah.
Your image is melancholy. I like that. Yeah. It's soft. It's elegant. It's classy. And you present yourself like that on stage, in person, all the time.
Thank you.
Is this something you're going to stick with?
Oh yeah. Women of the 1940s and 50s, the way they would dress, and I love to dress like them. Very ladylike, very delicate, like flowers, and they were so well respected. They didn't have to show much. They didn't have to give much. It was just they were women, you know. And some artists like Sade, she's so classy. She's so, you know what to expect from her all the time. You know, she's not going to surprise you with anything out of the ordinary as far as her looks. And I want to grow and be a lady just like them.
How do people find you? If they wanted to find D.Selina, how do people find you?
I have a website. It is www.dselina.com, where you can find my music, free download, my videos, YouTube links, Instagram, all of them are right there on the website. And I've been doing like once a month. My biggest show yet was at Cafe Istanbul 3 weeks ago. And I was the headliner. I was and that was a magical night. The band was jamming. I had Fats Domino's grandson, Chevis Bremer, with me, and he opened for me, and he was amazing. He really warmed the crowd up.
You're listening to D.Selina. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Business.